I stood in the driveway of a house I'd never been to before, clutching a bottle of red wine like it was a life raft, staring at the glow spilling from Sarah's windows. My wife Elise had kissed me goodbye 6 hours earlier with that same quick smile she'd been using for months, the one that never quite reached her eyes anymore. "Mark's picking me up," she'd said. "Girls' night. Don't wait up." Mark. The name tasted like rust in my mouth now. I'd come here because Sarah, Mark's wife, had texted me 3 days ago with a simple invitation. "Come to our place Saturday. Bring something to drink. Just us." I told myself it was curiosity. I told myself a lot of things. Sarah opened the door before I could knock. She looked smaller than I remembered from the company picnic, her dark hair twisted up, wearing a black dress that made her collarbones sharp. "You came," she said, voice soft, almost surprised. She took the bottle from my numb fingers. "I wasn't sure you would." Inside smelled like garlic and candle wax. Music played low, something with a woman's voice that cracked on every high note. Sarah led me through the house like she was afraid I'd bolt. Photos lined the hallway. Her and Mark on a beach, her and Mark laughing at some rooftop bar, her and Mark kissing under string lights. I hated how happy they looked. I hated that I noticed. She poured wine in the kitchen. Her hand shook just enough that the glass chimed against the bottle. "I have to tell you something," she said, not looking at me. "But I need you to listen all the way through. Promise me." I nodded. My throat had closed. She took a breath that sounded like surrender. "Mark and Elise aren't at a girls' night." The room tilted. I gripped the counter. "What?" "They've been together. For almost a year." She said it gently like she was easing a blade in. "I found out 2 months ago. I thought if I got you here, if we talked, maybe we could." She stopped, eyes wet. "I don't know what I thought." I heard myself laugh. Came out ugly. "You're telling me my wife is cheating on me with your husband, and you invited me over for wine?" Sarah flinched. "I know how it sounds." "Do you?" My voice cracked. "Because it sounds insane." She opened a drawer and pulled out a stack of printed emails, photos, receipts. She laid them on the counter like evidence in a trial. A hotel in Portland. A restaurant I'd never heard of. A selfie of Mark and Elise in a car, her head on his shoulder, both of them smiling like teenagers. My knees almost gave out. "I wanted you to see it from me," Sarah whispered. "Not stumble across it like I did. Not alone." I couldn't look at her. I stared at the photo instead, at Elise's hand curled possessively around Mark's arm. The same hand that used to trace circles on my back when I couldn't sleep. "Why tonight?" I managed. "Because they're together right now," she said. "At the Meridian Hotel. Room 1218. I booked it for them." Her voice broke. "I wanted them to think they were safe. That I didn't know. And I wanted you to decide what happens next." I stared at her. "You want me to what, go there? Catch them?" "I don't know." She pressed her palms to her eyes. I couldn't keep carrying this alone. I thought if we faced it together." "Together?" The word scraped out. "You and me? We're not a team, Sarah. Our spouses are fucking each other, and we're the idiots holding the bag." She started crying then, quiet, shoulders shaking. I should have felt bad. I didn't. I felt hollowed out. I left the wine on the counter and walked out. The night air hit me like a slap. I drove without thinking, hands shaking on the wheel. The Meridian was 20 minutes away. I made it in 12. The lobby was all marble and hushed voices. I took the elevator to the 12th floor like a man going to his own execution. Room 1218 was at the end of the hall. The door was cracked open, a sliver of light cutting across the carpet. I heard laughter, Elise's laugh, the one I hadn't heard aimed at me in months. Then Mark's low murmur. Then silence that felt worse. I pushed the door open. They were on the bed, half-dressed, tangled in sheets the color of bone. Elise saw me first. Her face went bloodless. Mark sat up fast, clutching a pillow like it could protect him. "David," Elise started. "Don't." My voice didn't sound like mine. It was calm. Too calm. "Don't say my name." Mark found his first. "Look, man, this isn't." "Shut up." I looked at Elise. Only Elise. A year. She couldn't hold my eyes. "I was going to tell you." "When?" The word cracked like a whip. After you decided which one of us you wanted? Or were you just going to keep bleeding me dry until there was nothing left? Tears ran down her face. She looked small suddenly. Young. Like the girl I'd married 12 years ago before everything got hard and we stopped trying. I stopped loving you the way I should, she whispered. I didn't know how to fix it. So you fucked my coworker instead. Mark tried again. This isn't all on her. I turned on him. You don't get to speak. You have a wife. Kids. You threw it away for what? Because it was easy? Because she made you feel 25 again. He looked away. I looked back at Elise. Get dressed. We're going home. She hesitated. Actually hesitated. That was the moment something inside me died cleanly and completely. You know what? I said quietly. Don't bother. Stay. Enjoy the room. Sarah paid for it. I walked out. The door clicked shut behind me like a coffin lid. I drove to the river. Sat on the hood of my car and watched the water move black and slow under the bridge lights. My phone buzzed Elise over and over. Then Sarah. I turned it off. At 2:17 a.m., headlights swept across the water. Sarah's car. She got out and stood a few feet away, arms wrapped around herself. I left him, she said simply. Packed a bag while he was still at the hotel. I don't know where I'm going. I just couldn't be in that house anymore. I didn't say anything. She came closer. I'm not asking you to forgive me for tonight. I just didn't want you to be alone. I laughed, a sound like breaking glass. I've been alone for a year, Sarah. Tonight didn't change that. She nodded like she'd expected it. Then she sat on the hood next to me, not touching, just there. We watched the river until the sky turned the color of weak coffee. Eventually she spoke, voice raw. What happens now? I thought of Elise's face when she hesitated. I thought of the photos in Sarah's kitchen. I thought of the way trust, once shattered, never really glues back the same. Now, I said, we burn it all down. Quietly. Legally. Completely. And then we figure out how to live in whatever's left. Sarah let out a breath that might have been a sob or relief. She rested her head against my shoulder, just for a second, like testing if the world still held weight. It did. But for the first time in months, the weight felt like mine to carry. Not theirs. And that was something.